What's up with y'all, man? How y'all feeling? How y'all living? AC Lucky back with another video, you feel me? That's the first time I said that shit all today, but look, I know one day y'all gonna run across a video of about a third eye. Y'all gonna run across that shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna get to that point in their life, whether you young or old. It's mainly young people in this generation. They woke up. You feel me? I started to really see the world for what it was at like a young age, like around like probably 2 years ago. You feel me? But everybody gonna run across a video about a third eye. Whether you old or young, whatever, you gonna run across a video in your lifetime about a third eye. And I'm gonna give y'all like why you shouldn't open your third. You should open your third eye, but you gotta accept. You gotta deal with the shit that come with it. Why you open the third eye is a pineal gland. It's right here. You see 1% out these 2 eyes right here. 1%. 1%. Everything you see in this world is an illusion. Everything you see on social media is an illusion. That shit is not real. These celebrity lives are not real. These celebrity lives are the people that you look up to. They live in a fantasy life. It's a fake life they live in. They gotta live that shit to. It's like they gotta live that shit to put an agenda on these kids. You gotta understand, we live in a world it's controlled. It's mind controlling. They control kids' minds. They control adults' minds. Know what I'm saying? They control adults' minds. That's why your parents might push shit onto you. That's why your parents might make you want to go to college. That makes you. Your parents make decisions for you. That's all I'm basically trying to say because of the world. But you gotta understand, your parents don't control shit. They don't control shit. They don't control the decisions you make. They don't control the decisions you make. I got hella shit going through my mind, so like if I might stutter or some shit, there's hella shit going through my mind, and I feel like I gotta say this shit. Like I don't know, there's hella shit going through my mind, but they make the decision you need to make. Like stop letting parents make decisions for you. Start making decisions for yourself. They don't know shit. They don't know shit in this world. Half of these parents don't know shit. They don't know what's really going on. They don't know why we hearing this shit on the radio. They don't know why we watching this shit on TV. They don't know shit. So you gotta understand. Once God calls you to wake up, once God calls you to wake up, you gonna see shit people don't see. You gonna start to see shit your parents don't see. It's gonna be so simple. It's gonna sound so simple to you, but it's gonna sound crazy to them. It's gonna sound crazy to them. And you probably could say that shit in the simplest as you could. The simplest. You could probably could say the NFL is rigged. That's why the score this and this and this. That shit gonna sound crazy to them. You might could say a celebrity is pushing these kids to be zesty and shit. But that shit they might sound like, what? What are you talking about? They famous because they put in hard work. Fucks no. These people asleep. So you gotta understand, you can't have certain conversations with people that are asleep because it's gonna make them feel uncomfortable. Cause they, at the end of the day, in their spirit, they know that shit is true. But they don't wanna accept that shit. They don't wanna accept that shit. They don't wanna accept the shit that come with open your eyes, your third eye. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, certain conversations and certain topics you can't have with people for real. And you're not gonna be interested in talking about third dimensional shit. You're not gonna be interested in talking about who won the Grammy Awards. You're not gonna be interested in talking about who got shot yesterday, who did this. You're not gonna be interested in that shit because at the end of the day, you know that shit is meant to keep you distracted. You know that shit is meant to keep you away from yourself. And you gonna wanna search for answers. You gonna wanna be alone with yourself. You gonna wanna really work on yourself and really build your future once you open your third eye. And you gonna really feel like you could do whatever you want in this world. And you know that shit, you could do whatever you want in your world because God woke you up for a purpose. God woke you up to lead people. God woke you up to create like a foundation. Create a foundation to end. Help your family elevate. Help your family generations on generations. Cause once you wake up, you're gonna wake up a hella other kids. Hella other people. They gonna they gonna love you for that shit. They gonna love you for that shit. They gonna love you for being you. They gonna love you for being the person God calls you to be. They gonna love you for that shit, and they gonna accept you for that shit because they see who you really are as a person. They see you got pure intentions. They see that God sent them into. They see that God sent you into their lives to wake them up. So you gotta understand this shit. Third eye is not a bad thing. It's a really, really good thing. Cause you got a chance to make shit happen. You got a chance. You got a chance to live your dream life. You got a chance to really build your dream life. You got a chance to really break other people up. You gotta understand that shit. And another thing, once you open your third eye, it's gonna make you feel depressed. You're gonna be going through that depression stage, but it's not depression. It's not depression. When you open your third eye, it's not depression. It's just God. He's there with you. He's there with you along the way. He's there. But he got to put you through these obstacles for you to really understand where he's trying to take you in life. He's gonna push you through obstacles. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna feel like it's hard. It's gonna feel like nobody understands you. But at the end of the day, he gonna send people into your life. He just wants you to get prepared. He's preparing you for that next level he about to take you at. He's preparing you to show you out to the world. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand this shit. It's not a bad thing. And you gotta understand. You gonna lose friends. You gonna lose family and friends. You gonna lose those people because they don't resonate with you. They don't resonate with you. So you gonna lose people. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You gotta accept that shit as a good thing because God's gonna send people into your life. He's not gonna forget about you. He's gonna send people into your life to help you elevate, to help you build a good friendship with them, to help you grow as a person. It's all about self-growth. And if you young right now and you run across this video and like you feel like your third eye is opening, it's an amazing ass thing because older people don't really experience their third eye opening until they like 40, 35, until they old, you know what I'm saying? And it makes them feel like everything they taught was a lie. Everything is a lie. School is programming. You don't need school to be successful. You don't need none of this shit. You don't need none of this shit the government put on us. You don't need none of this shit to be successful. Only thing you need to be successful is yourself and put God first. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You gotta understand this shit. You gotta switch that mindset. So if you're young right now, you feel like your third eye is opening, just know it gets better. Just know you're gonna change the world in some type of way. It don't matter what you do. You're gonna change people's lives just by you speaking. You feel me? You're gonna change people's lives. People gonna see you for who you are. People gonna accept you for who you are. And you gotta really. And you gonna lose friends. You gotta really. No, you gonna see people for who they are once you open your third eye. You gonna see a person for who they are. You gonna see who do shit for attention, and you gonna see people for who they are. Like you gonna see people for being goofy. You gonna see people. You gonna see everything. You gonna know how to read a person very well. That's the good benefits about having your third eye open. Because when you sleep, you just accept anybody that come into your life. You feel me? You think everybody got good intentions. You know what I'm saying? When you sleep, but when you awoken and your third eye's open, you gonna see people for who they fucking are. You gonna be like, oh, I ain't gonna have him around me. I see who he is. He goofy for real. I'm not gonna have him around me. I don't really fuck with that person. I don't like how they move. You gonna really start to see people for who they are. You feel me? And that's a good ass thing. Cause you could read the room off bat, nigga. You gonna see who really fuck with you for you. You gonna see who don't really like you just because you. You know what I'm saying? And you might be going through that stage. You feel like you don't want to go to school no more, and because you really know shit. You know shit that these teachers don't know. You know how if you could teach a class yourself, you could do that shit. Like you could change people's lives by your words. You know half of this shit. You know school is fake. You know school is programming. You know everything. Not everything, but you know majority of everything, because God is living through you. And you gotta understand that shit. God is living through you, and He not gonna forget about you. Everybody gonna go through this stage of life, and you gotta accept life is an illusion. Social media is an illusion. You don't need clothes, jewelry, and money just to be happy. You don't need none of that shit. You happier than your favorite celebrity right now. You free. You free. You gotta understand that. You free. You is free. You could do whatever you want. You could go whatever you want. You feel what I'm saying? You gonna change many lives, bro. You gonna change many lives, bro. You just don't understand right now. You going through that process of understanding. You gonna change many lives. You going through that process. And once you realize you can change anybody's lives, like you gonna change. Once you realize you can change people's lives, you gonna realize. You gonna realize shit about yourself. You gonna realize. You gonna realize you gonna be the one taking care of your family one day. You gonna realize that shit. You gonna realize that shit. You gonna create hella ideas. You gonna create hella ideas, dope ideas, and you gonna get rich off of that shit. Real shit. God, He gonna make you rich. God fill you up with wisdom for a reason. God is about to take you to that next level, and you gotta understand that shit. God is gonna make you rich. God, He's gonna give you whatever you imagine to have. You about to change so many people's lives in the generation you just don't understand. People gonna remember you. Whoever you come in contact with, they always gonna remember you. They always gonna remember you because you got wisdom speaking through you. You about to take your family to that next level. You don't even know it yet. You about to inspire so many kids and people around this world. It's to the point your name gonna ring bells. People gonna know you. Just for you being you. Just for you being the person that wasn't afraid to speak their thoughts, or wasn't afraid to do what they love to do. People gonna remember you, bro. Sis. Whatever you do in this lifetime, people gonna remember you for that shit. Always remember that shit. You feel me? AC Lucky signing out.